86%. Let that sink in for a second. 86% of buyers are actually willing to pay more just for a great customer experience. We are definitely living in an era where the product itself is really only half the battle. Think about it. Almost 9 out of 10 people will gladly hand over more of their hard-earned money if you just make their interaction with your brand seamless, personalized, and completely frictionless. Seriously, today, the experience literally is the product.
But here's the catch. And it's a big one. As Albert Einstein famously said, we can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. We pulled this straight out of the Qualtrics Customer Experience Design Toolkit, and it just perfectly sets the stage for us. If we actually want to capture that 86% of buyers, we absolutely cannot rely on outdated, clunky legacy systems. We need a radically new approach to how we manage the customer journey.
So, welcome to this explainer. I am beyond excited to dive into all of this with you today. We're going to take 4 completely distinct pillars of modern business and synthesize them into one cohesive framework. We call it the modern customer ecosystem. We've pulled some amazing insights from top-tier sources, places like Insider One, Chapters Digital, Qualtrics, and CX expert Martin Newman, just to show you exactly how the most successful brands out there stop guessing and really start knowing. Okay, here is our game plan for today. We'll be moving through 4 key phases. First up, designing the experience. Second, scaling with AI automation. Third, analyzing the journey. And finally, proving the ROI. And to make this super practical for you, we're going to apply this entire ecosystem to diagnose and fix a problem I know we've all faced at some point, the dreaded e-commerce cart drop-off.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, designing the experience, starting with the human element.
Look, before we deploy a single piece of fancy technology, we have to step out of our spreadsheets and actually put ourselves in the customer's shoes. We do this using an empathy map. Basically, we divide their reality into 4 quadrants. So take our cart abandoning customer. What are they thinking? Probably something like, the shipping cost is a complete joke. What are they feeling? Well, frustrated and confused for sure. What are they saying out loud? Whatever, I'll just buy this later. And what are they actually doing? They're clicking that exit button. This exercise is absolutely crucial because it pinpoints where the real friction is. Once we've got that empathy dialed in, we map the journey to turn all that theory into a totally actionable checklist. It's really just 3 steps. First, you conduct the actual customer research. Second, you map out the customer's steps horizontally over time. So from discovery to browsing, right down to the checkout page. And third, you plot their interactions and pain points vertically. Suddenly, you aren't just taking wild guesses. You have this precise visual map showing you exactly where the experience is breaking down.
Which brings us nicely to part 2, scaling with AI automation. We are moving from static rules to real-time intent.
To actually execute these fixes at massive scale, we've got to understand a huge technological shift. On one side, we have traditional static segmentation. This is kind of the old way of doing things. Manual, predefined campaigns that just blast out a generic discount code to 1 million people based on, broad demographics. But on the other side, we've got AI-driven dynamic personalization. Platforms like Insider One let us shift entirely to individualized responses based on real-time browsing intent. We aren't just reacting to who the customer is on paper anymore, we're reacting intelligently to what they are trying to do in this exact second. It's a real game changer. And hey, if you're sitting there thinking hyper-personalization is just some fluffy industry buzzword, just look at the hard data. AI workflows actually reduce operational costs by 12.2%. Plus, they slash customer acquisition costs by a staggering 30 to 40%. So, moving from manual rules to AI isn't just about creating a better user experience, although it does that too. It is a massive, tangible cost saver for your business operations.
Let's keep the momentum going with part 3, analyzing the journey, finding the why with advanced GA4.
So, to effectively track this new automated ecosystem, we've got to shift our whole analytics paradigm. Remember Universal Analytics? It was session-based. It basically just told you the what happened during a visit. But Google Analytics 4, that's an event-centric model. It tells you the why. In GA4, literally every single click, scroll depth, and video view is an actionable, trackable data point. It moves us from just passively observing to actively investigating. Now, to actually get our hands on those insights, we have to look way past those basic default dashboards. We need the advanced explorations. Freeform lets us build custom tables for really complex metrics, like specific transaction IDs. Funnel gives us a great step-by-step conversion drop-off analysis. And then there's path exploration, which acts like this visual tree diagram for discovering unexpected user flows. Let's actually apply one of these to our cart problem right now.
Say we use a funnel exploration. Boom, we uncover a pretty severe cart abandonment rate. 60% of users are dropping off right at checkout, with only 40% actually completing the purchase. But by breaking this down further in GA4, let's say by device category, we can pinpoint the issue directly. We might find that mobile users are dropping off at 80%, while the desktop users are totally fine. Bam! Now we have a precise, targeted issue to fix.
But here's the really important question. What exactly did those 60% do instead of buying? Well, that's exactly where path exploration comes in. Instead of just showing us a dead end, it visually reveals the precise sequence of actions a user takes instead of completing that purchase. Did they get confused and loop back to the shipping policy page? Did they get totally distracted by a related product? This tool gives us the exact data-backed blueprint of what content or design element we need to fix.
All right, let's bring it all home with Part 4, Proving the ROI, the financials of customer centricity.
If we're going to validate this entire loop to our stakeholders, we always start with customer lifetime value, or CLV. Basically, this is your average purchase value multiplied by purchase frequency and the average customer lifespan. Why does this matter so much for our cart drop-off scenario? Because if we use AI to save just one single cart abandoning customer today, we aren't just saving a $50 sale. No way. We are saving years and years of recurring loyal revenue.
Next up is customer acquisition cost, CAC. This is the total resources required to acquire a brand new customer. Now, this metric swings wildly depending on your industry. A B2B SaaS company might spend like $702 just to acquire one user, whereas an e-commerce brand averages closer to about $70. When you optimize the customer journey and layer in that AI automation, you drop this CAC metric drastically, creating almost instant profit for the business.
Of course, we also measure customer sentiment, and we do that through the Net Promoter Score, or NPS. It's just the percentage of your promoters minus your detractors, and it directly translates to loyalty. Just look at the contrast out there. Specialty stores that are known for amazing experiences, like Costco, sit at a phenomenal score of 80. Meanwhile, your average cable provider, an experience I think we all know and merely tolerate, scores a dismal 30. A high NPS means higher retention. It's that simple.
$8.71. Seriously, wrap your head around that number for a second. That is the sheer scale of the financial return here. For literally every single dollar invested in CRM and customer-centric initiatives, the average return on investment is $8.71. It's so easy to look at customer research and AI software as just another annoying expense, but this powerful metric proves it is genuinely one of the highest-yielding investments any company can possibly make.
So, to basically summarize the ultimate bottom-line benefit of everything we've covered today, customer-centric companies grow their revenues 4 to 8% faster than their competitors. Proving the ROI is actually quite simple. Mastering this whole design-to-analytics ecosystem isn't just about making people feel warm and fuzzy. It guarantees accelerated, sustainable business growth.
I really want to leave you all with this final kind of provocative thought. You know what your customers are doing, but do you truly know why? If you're still out there relying on static segments and basic dashboards, you are literally leaving revenue on the table. It is absolutely time to embrace this complete, real-time customer ecosystem. Design with empathy, scale with AI, and analyze with precision. Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me today. Keep learning, keep optimizing, and I'll catch you next time.